are listening to The Common Sense Practical Prepper, sponsored by Duct Tape, the real duct tape. It fixes everything, except bad decisions. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America. From border to border, coast to coast, and all ships at sea, here is your host, Keith.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Common Sense Practical Prepper podcast for Wednesday, August the 26th, 2026. So we're going to start a new series tonight. I know I've got a bunch of series going on. So we wrapped up the Build Your Ark series a few weeks ago. We're also doing a series on the supply chain running in the background. We did pharmaceuticals. And next, we're going to follow a gallon of milk from the cow to your dinner table. But we're going to start a new series called When Nobody's Coming to Help You. And tonight, we're going to talk about dental emergencies. Something up until about 3 days ago, I put zero thought into. So here we go, dental emergencies. So here's a scenario. It's day 4 of a grid down situation. Regardless if it's an ice storm, hurricane, societal collapse, regardless of the scenario, you bite down on something and you feel a sickening crack. The pain shoots through your jaw. You reach for the phone to call your dentist. Of course, you can't get through to your dentist because you're in the middle of an SHTF situation. No power, maybe no cell service, no appointment available, even if you could get through because your dentist is probably at home. So what do? Now, we all would have first aid kits, bandages, tourniquets, chest seals, airways. But how many of us have a dental emergency kit? How many of us know what to do with a cracked tooth, loose filling, or we develop an abscess when professional help is days or weeks away? Which brings me to another thought I just had. When you're putting together your little group, your little community, it would not suck if you had a nurse, or even better yet, somebody affiliated with the dental industry as part of your group, as part of your community. That would be key. So why am I going to dedicate an entire episode to teeth? Because a dental emergency just is not about pain. Potentially, it could be life-threatening. So here's what a lot of people don't realize. Hospitals normally don't have dental services. If you go to the ER at your local hospital with a toothache, they'll give you some antibiotics and painkillers. Well, they'll give you antibiotics. They're not giving you painkillers and tell you to see a dentist at your earliest opportunity. In a prolonged emergency, that dentist is not available. An untreated dental abscess, that's an infection that can spread to your jaw, your neck, even your brain, is called Ludwig's angina when it spreads to the floor of your mouth and can close off your airway. My, aren't I just full of good news tonight? People have died from toothaches, the toothache being the root cause. And that's not fear-mongering, that just happens. Rare, I get it, but it still happens. And something else, poor oral health is connected with heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and respiratory infections. That I did know. So in a long-term survival situation where you're already stressed out, not sleeping well, probably not eating great, a dental problem compounds everything. And that's the last thing you need is just another stressor to compound the situation. So this isn't just a minor topic. This is a gap that a lot of people should close in their preps. And the fix costs less than an extra large pizza. So here are the 5 most common dental emergencies. So we'll break them down. These are the ones you're most likely to face. Number 1, a knocked out tooth. And this one is time critical. If you get your tooth knocked out completely, you took an elbow, maybe you fell, you have about 30 minutes to save the tooth. After 30 minutes, the roots start dying and reimplantation becomes less and less likely. So what do? So find your tooth, pick it up by the crown, pick it up by the top, never touch the root, rinse it gently in clean water, and try to place it back into the socket if you can. If you cannot get it back into the socket, you need to store it in milk, not water, but milk. The proteins and pH in milk help keep the root cells alive longer. Whole nother situation. If you don't have milk, what are you going to do? Number 2, a cracked or fractured tooth. This is probably the most common dental emergency you'll face. You bite down on something hard, a piece of bone in your stored food, a nut, whatever, and you feel that crack. The severity ranges from a minor chip to a full fracture that exposes the nerve. Ouch. If the nerve is exposed, you are going to know it. That pain will be very intense, especially when air hits it or there is a temperature change. Time sensitivity here is hours to days, depending on the severity, but the pain will drive you bananas. A lost filling or crown. I'm going to take a quick sidebar for a second. A long time ago, about 30 years ago, I needed to find a new dentist. I went to a very popular dentist in the area. I had my very first appointment for my very first cleaning, and I was told they were practicing preemptive dentistry. They said they located 9 places in my mouth where, if left untreated for an unknown period of time, there is a good chance or a likelihood that these 9 places in my mouth on my teeth will develop cavities, and they wanted to preemptively fill them. I promptly got out of the chair and went and found a new dentist. Found this dentist. He was absolutely fantastic, and I saw him up to about 2 years ago. He got sick, and unfortunately, he passed away. So I find a new dentist, the exact same thing. I didn't have cavities for 25 years. All of a sudden, I go to this new dentist, and it's, oh my Lord, what have you been doing? You don't floss, you don't brush. What do you do? Bathe your mouth in sugar every morning? Needless to say, I'm looking for a new dentist again. I digress. Loose filling or a crown. This one is less dramatic, but still needs attention. That filling or crown was protecting the exposed tooth. Without it, you got the sensitivity and the potential for further decay. And that's a spot where food and bacteria are going to collect. The good news, this is the easiest one to manage with the basic kit. Temporary filling kit can hold you for days to weeks. Number 4, an abscess or infection. So this is where it gets a little dicey. An abscess is a pocket of bacterial infection, usually at the root of the tooth or in the gum tissue. You'll see swelling and possibly a visible bump on the gum, and the pain is usually throbbing and constant. So this is the one that can become life-threatening if left untreated. If you see swelling spreading to your neck, under your jaw, or you develop a fever along with the dental pain and symptoms, that infection is spreading and you need professional help as soon as possible. The last one, severe toothache without an obvious cause. Sometimes a tooth just starts screaming at you. Could be a hidden cavity, could be a crack you can't see, could be inflammation on the pulp inside the tooth. The cause matters less in an emergency than managing the pain and preventing it from getting worse. So, what can we actually do with these 5 issues? For a toothache, this is your immediate protocol. Step 1, rinse your mouth thoroughly with warm salt water. About half a teaspoon of salt in 8 ounces of warm water reduces bacteria and can ease inflammation. Step 2, floss gently around the affected tooth. Sometimes the pain is caused by food lodged between the teeth that is pressing onto the gum. Step 3, cold compress on the outside of your cheek, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. This reduces swelling and numbs the area just a little bit. Step 4, over-the-counter pain relief. Ibuprofen is your best friend when it comes to being both a painkiller and an anti-inflammatory. Acetaminophen works for pain, but does not address the swelling. And here's the trick that most people don't know. Clove oil. Eugenol is the active compound in clove oil. It's actually used in professional dentistry as a numbing agent. Put a drop on a cotton pellet and hold it against the affected tooth. It tastes terrible, but it works. If you've lost a filling or a crown, Temporary filling material like Dentep or Temperin. You can buy this at a pharmacy for about $6 or $8. Clean out the cavity with warm water, dry it as best you can, and press the material in. It sets in minutes and can hold for several weeks. If you lost a crown, you can use that same material or even denture adhesive to temporarily re-cement it. Just make sure you're putting it on the right way. The crown only fits in one direction. For a cracked tooth, dental wax over the sharp edge to protect the tongue and cheek. Avoid chewing on that side entirely. Pain management with the protocol I just described, and if the nerve is exposed, you will know it, because if any cold air hits it, it will absolutely make you climb a wall. Grab the clove oil and put it on the exposed area. Now, for an abscess, warm saltwater rinses multiple times a day, as many times as you can do it. This can help draw out some of the infection and draw it to the surface. Do not try to lance an abscess by yourself. I know it's tempting, but just don't do it. You can push the infection deeper, or even worse, introduce new bacteria into that abscess. If you have antibiotics in your medical stash, and that's going to be a topic for another episode, this is when you should consider using them. Amoxicillin is a standard first-line antibiotic for dental infections. And I'll say it again, if swelling is spreading to your neck, if you have a fever, if you're having trouble swallowing or breathing, this is no longer a dental emergency. This is a medical emergency. Get the help you need, however you can get it. As a quick caveat, none of this is medical/dental advice. I am neither a dentist nor a doctor. All right, so building your own DIY emergency dental kit. Now, you could go on Amazon, and I found it between like $28 and $50. They have all of the same ingredients that I'm going to go through now. And if you piecemeal it together or go a la carte, I think it's going to be less expensive. With some of these kits, I think you're paying for the convenience of having everything in its little zippy pack or its little fancy dental emergency box. So here's the shopping list. 10 different items under between $25 and $30. Item 1, Dentep or Temperum Max, Teparin Max, between $6 and $9. This is the most important item. It's a temporary filling and crown repair material. Comes in a small tube or tray. Pack it into the cavity or over the crown, and it hardens in your mouth. Could last several days up to several weeks. Walmart, CVS, or Amazon, very easy to come by. Get 2, they're very small, and 1 might not be enough depending on the size of the cavity. Clove oil, about $8. This is the numbing agent. 100% pure clove bud oil. Walmart has it, Amazon has it, and a lot of your health food stores also carry it. A small bottle will last for years. The third item, oral pain gel with benzocaine, about $6. Oragel Max Strength or the equivalent. This is your backup topical numbing option. Easier to apply than clove oil. You just squeeze it on. Good for gum pain, canker sores, and general mouth pain. Grab the highest percentage benzocaine you can find. 20% is the standard. Number 4, cotton pellets, $2 or $3. These are small, tight cotton balls specifically made for dental use. Regular cotton balls are too big and too fluffy. On Amazon, just search dental cotton or dental cotton pellets. Number 5, dental tweezers or college pliers, $3 to $5. These are those angled tweezers that you're able to reach into your mouth. You can use them to place the cotton pellets, remove debris, or even position the dental wax. Regular tweezers will work, but the angle is wrong and they're much too short. Not very expensive. Amazon, Walmart, all the regular suspects. Dental wax, very inexpensive. Maybe $2 or $3 for a huge chunk of it. This is the stuff they gave you if you ever had braces. They found the sharp points. You put the wax over the edge of the wire so it wouldn't dig into your gums as much. Comes in strips. Grab as much as you need. A dental mirror, Probably a good thing to have. A small mirror on a handle that lets you look into the back of your mouth. Get one with a metal handle, not plastic. The plastic ones fog up instantly. Item 8, irrigation syringes, curved tip, $2 or $3. Plastic syringes with a curved tip for flushing debris out of the sockets. I have seen these on Amazon, Tractor Supply. I've got some for the chickens when I need to clean out wounds on the chicken's feet or their back. I use the syringe with the little curved tip, and they work fantastic. Not very expensive at all. And then the over-the-counter medication, ibuprofen, acetaminophen. Salt, okay? We were talking about warm water salt rinses. We need to have our salt. So now let's put it all together. Grab a small waterproof pouch or a hard-sided case, something the size of maybe like a pencil case. I currently have a small Pelican-style case that I am not using. I think I will use that for my dental kit when I put it together. So notes about shelf life. DenTemp lasts 2 or 3 years unopened. Clove oil lasts indefinitely if stored in a dark bottle away from heat and light. Benzocaine gel, check for expiration, usually 2 to 3 years. Everything else is indefinite. Set a reminder to check expiration dates once a year when you rotate your food storage or whenever you do your normal pantry audits. So what are the things that I left out? Forceps, dental elevators, scalpels, and suture kits. I know what somebody's thinking. But Keith, what do I do if I have to pull a tooth? And look, I get it. But here's the reality. A botched tooth extraction is worse than the toothache. You can fracture the jaw, leave tooth fragments that abscess, uncontrolled bleeding, damage adjacent teeth. So unless you've had hands-on training from a medical professional, those tools are more likely to hurt you than help you. Now, back to suture kit. You have a laceration and you need to suture it, or you know how to suture it. That's when the suture kit comes in handy, not necessarily for your dental emergency kit. So we'll talk about prevention, and I'm not going to tell you to floss and brush your teeth every day. So the best dental emergency is the one that you never have to have. The best emergency dental kit is the one you never have to open. So before things go completely sideways, just take care of your teeth. Get your fillings replaced, get that crown that you've been putting off, get a cleaning, deal with the small problems now so you don't have to try to find a dentist during an SHTF situation. Stock up on toothbrushes, toothpaste, and floss. Just have a bag of it. Very inexpensive. And one more thing. If you have kids, teach them about dental hygiene like it's a survival skill, because if they like their teeth, they need to have good dental hygiene. And if they have good dental hygiene, and we come across a long-term SHTF situation, that is one thing less that you have to worry about. All right, so just to recap, know the 5 common dental emergencies and how time-sensitive each one is. Build your $25 DIY dental kit. We got the shopping list. Learn the basic protocols, saltwater rinse, clove oil, temporary fillings. And everybody do me a favor. If you like this episode, if anything in there was helpful, share it with someone, like, subscribe, leave a review. So again, folks, I really do appreciate everybody stopping by. practicalpreppodcast@gmail.com, prep_podcast on the Twitters. I received a few more emails in the last 24 hours. Like I said before, I will be putting together a mailbag issue very soon. All right, folks, as always, please be careful out there. Take care of one another. And until next time.
You've been listening to The Common Sense Practical Prepper. Subscribe, like, drop a review. Over and out.